Welcome to my guide on defeating the 2 hard challenges for the cafe event. They're not too difficult, but with my assistance you'll get through them pretty easily. So for this first one, the key is to just make sure that the middle spot is reserved for a main attacker like rank 3 Kallen, rank 4 Kallen, Urabe, or Cornelia. Just don't put Tohdoh there, he'll get killed. I'm using 2 cost increasers, Millie and Nagisa, because they also reduce the cost of their faction. I'm using Ashford Lelouch because he combos well with the 2 Millies, and he's also a pretty powerful attacker. Now the thing about the cost increasers on the battlefield that you see is I will eventually withdraw one of them to make room for Kallen later on in the battle. That's a good strategy to have where you put the cost increasers out early, your assault pilots as scouts, and then later on withdraw them for better pilots. You'll see that strategy utilized here and in the next map. Meanwhile, I have Lelouch taking out that random Night Police Glasgow, and Cornelia is doing her thing. Now I'm going to eventually improve my forces with Butler Lelouch, and then Tohdoh. Tohdoh I think needs to be there, or some kind of equivalent tank. Butler Lelouch doesn't have to be there. Villetta will be fine, even Minami or Kyo, just whatever you have available to you. I think having a range pilot, would be better in that situation than having nobody. But that's up to you. Again, depends what you have available to you. I don't think you need 9 spots to beat this, but 8 definitely helps. Lelouch, of course, is cleaning up the garbage right there. And that's basically how this battle works, just playing out like normal, taking out enemies with your range and melee pilots, and you're just going to wait out till the boss comes out. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward stuff. If you're having problems at this point, maybe you need more healers, maybe your attackers are not strong enough, either range or melee, but if your team is pretty adequate at this point, this should be pretty straightforward. Cornelia is pretty OP, I'm not going to lie, but you could use Urabe and rank 3 Kallen instead. But yeah, you just keep playing this out, and eventually the boss will appear. And when the boss appears, I'm going to withdraw one of my cost increasers for Kallen. Yep, see, there goes Millie, I got rid of her. Here comes the boss. He's really a pushover to take out, but if you don't have a decent attacker though, he will kill your pilot. So Kallen's out there doing her thing. I was trying to get Lelouch's special to charge up in time, but obviously I failed, so we went to the boss battle. But no big deal, Kallen can help out here, and she'll use her special to take him out. I think she needs more punch after this, but still pretty good in terms of taking him out. Also, Kallen has the immortality ability, so she'll last even longer. You don't need that to stop him, but hey, it never hurts. And Lelouch takes out the last couple enemies, and there you go. Pretty easy. The key is just to make sure you have the right pilot for the boss. Everything else is pretty standard stuff. And obviously you might have to level up your pilots if they are not strong enough at this point. We're going to go into the second challenge in just a moment. So that's my team. Notice I put Shirley in there. Shirley is very important for this part because just like before, we're going to do a substitution method. So I put out Jeremiah, I have Nagisa and Millie again, passive cost increasers while reducing the cost to deploy pilots in their faction. Now here I had to use both Butler Lelouch and Villetta because there were too many airships and I needed 2 pilots that are anti-airships or flying units, hence why I used both of them. You could also use Kyo or Minami like I said before. I even think Ashford Lelouch might be comparable. Although, to be honest, I was using him before Villetta and he was not doing the job well enough, so I had to put Villetta in there instead. So I think having a pilot with anti-air abilities is required here. And using Butler, Lelouch, and Villetta got the job done. I put Cornelia in front of Millie. She's got really powerful attack power, so I figured that made sense. You could, of course, use Urabe, Kallen, or, the other Kallen, I guess. And so she's doing a pretty good job holding the line. Now, when it comes to substituting either Millie or Nagisa, you're going to want to remove Nagisa because Kallen has better defense. Instead of Kallen, by the way, you could also use Tohdoh. It's entirely up to you. Now, you see there, I removed Nagisa and I put in Shirley to heal Cornelia. The problem with this map is that if you don't have a healer by Cornelia, you're going to get overrun really quickly. So when the boss comes to you, he'll take out whoever you put there. Even Kallen, hypothetically, if she burned out her immortality. So that's why I have Cornelia there with a healer, that healer being Shirley. Plus Shirley combos well with the Ashford faction, including the rank 3 Millie. So in this situation, I have 2 ranged pilots that are healing and 2 ranged pilots that are attacking. I recommend this formation for the best optimal way to defeat this challenge, but obviously there's more ways to do that. This is just what worked for me. Again, Cornelia is really beastly, especially with the Gloucester, which boosts the attack power of Villetta. But again, you don't necessarily need her, but I'm not going to lie, she certainly helps. Now we're going through these enemies pretty quickly. There are chances that the pilots, meaning the airships, might get past you, and if that happens, you just simply have to time your shots better. Like see how I use Butler Lelouch right there to take out more enemies. So that's another thing you can do as well. Or maybe they're just not strong enough yet. Now we're getting into the boss battle, as you see there. Here he comes. Again, pretty easy to defeat, but he could be challenging if you don't heal whoever you have down there. In my case, Cornelia, but it can be anybody. I tried to use Villetta to take out the boss, but as you see there, I missed, which hurt me deeply. I was hoping I could one-shot him, but it didn't happen. Doesn't matter, we're going to the boss fight here, and Cornelia will take him off one shot. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. There he goes. That's pretty simple. And then after that, there's going to be a couple more airships that are going to appear, and because I have Villetta and Lelouch, taking those out will also be very simple because they both deal extra damage to airships. And so those are the two hard challenges. If you have any other questions about this, leave them in the comments section below. If you're curious, I covered the new pilots that just came out, and you can watch that video right here.